So we're going to go into this year is about. There are two other ways where there is no Isra of Toichen lechatchila. So which foods? So there are certain foods which the whole Isra of Toichen regarding doesn't apply to lechatchila on Shabbos. So there's a machlekes Rishonim by some of them. There's a machlekes Rishonim if by edible foods which are ready to eat is there Isra Toichen. So in the first Mara Makin is the Gemara in Shabbos.
Edible as is, you mean?
Yeah, edible as is, and also even foods which are edible. There's another both. There's a few opinions.
Oh, but probably there's an isser on edible,
foods.
On food.
Yeah, maybe it's only on other things. And so in the first Makin, the Gemara says Toichen, Amar Papa Hayman the Parim Silka Chai Mishum Toichen. Someone who breaks up a silka, not sure exactly which food it is, they grind it up. They're Chai Mishum Toichen. So, what is silka? So the Rosh has a different pshat. He says silka is not even a food. The Rosh says it's not. How could there's no Isra Toichen by foods. Oh, he's talking about a type of tree. He wanted to grind it up. There was a powder inside that they would take out. So the Rosh says second Maramokim. Toichen Amar Papa Hayman de Parim Silka B'Shabbos Chai Mishum Toichen. And Pirush Rabbeinu Chanan Azal that Atzei de Kolim Sha'in Dim Tichi. It's a type of branches of a tree, which they're close together. Kein Nimin, they have like strings. Okay, Shek Shemet Farek Hanimin Halo Yitzmi B'Nein Kamei Kemach Dak. And when you break them apart, there's like a thin powder. Am I clear? It comes out.
What's it used for?
It's not kinamon? It's not cinnamon?
Something like that.
Yeah, it's not edible.
It's not edible.
Sin.
Not really. It's common, but it's not edible.
Lefichach Hamnasei Chai Mishum Toichen.
Why would you take it?
Makapatish, when you finish something, you broke it all. You broke up the powder.
Took it apart, or you broke it up?
I'm not sure what the Metzias is over here. I'm not sure. Sounds like you're breaking it apart. Where you take it apart and then it breaks into powder. Makapatish, I don't think it's makapatish. You made a kli. You did something. I don't think there's makapatish. You grind up some dirt. There's makapatish.
He's grinding something in there? You said just took it apart. The branch.
Yeah, and then it broke up into powder. Makapatish is when you're finished. Well, makapatish is when you're finishing a kli. You're doing something.
He's closing out. Isn't that makapatish?
What did you finish off? Did you make something out of it? What is it? It's just a powder. You didn't make anything out of it yet. I don't think there's makapatish. Makapatish is when you made something.
Makapatish only applies to finishing a keli.
Anything that's finished.
Over here,
something, a material.
right over here, you didn't finish anything off. You just made a powder. Fine.
What's the taste?
You're making this
He took
powder.
a solid, made it into a powder.
He didn't do anything. He just took it apart something, and powder came out of that.
Right. So
Merasek is.
it could be from him taking it apart. He broke it up. I'm not sure. I never saw this branch before. I'm not sure exactly what he's referring to.
Okay.
This is a Pirush Hagen Hui. So this is right pshat. Dumya the Sali Silti. Fine. It says, and now he argues with Rashi. Mash Pirush Rashi the parim silka shemchatik yiraka is dak. Rashi teaches that you cut up vegetables very thinly and that you're chai mishum toichen. It says Pirush temuahu. It says that doesn't make any sense. Davashu eichel mechatik chaysi dak eich shaykh beit china. If it's a food and you're cutting up very thinly, what china is there? It's not shaykh china by food. Maybe by wheat, by kernels, up there it's not edible. It's not a food yet. There you can have isra of toichen. But by foods, the Rosh wants to say it's not shaykh toichen. So if you're passing like the Rosh, things will be a lot easier. Shabbos in the kitchen.
Yeah, so everybody who does it passes like the Rosh.
And the Tosfos, he says Tosfos also teaches that it's a vegetable, but he says it depends which types of vegetables. The Tosfos in third Ramakim says Hayman the Parim Silka. He says Dafke besilka shaykh tchina. Dafke the silka is shaykh tchina. Avashar eichlin shari. All other foods is mutter. Why? So it seems the place we understand from the Tosfos that it's Dafke food which is the derech, and it's necessary to grind it up. Meaning it's not edible the way it is. You can't eat it. It needs to be grinded up. So that's where it's shaykh is rotation. When you have a tomato, a cucumber, something like that, which you could eat it the way it is, you're just cutting it smaller. So there it's not shaykh is rotation.
The Russian side, please.
Yeah, the Russian Tesvis. However, on the other hand, you have a lot of Rishonim who say clearly, like we saw from Rashi, also that there is Isser Toichen also by foods which are edible and ready to eat. In the fourth Maramak, in the Shabbos Aleket, we saw this last week. He writes, "Kosabali Reims Atzal. You saw others lay far Peris the Perurin Dakim. You shouldn't You shouldn't cut up vegetables into very thin pieces. The sheer Prirosim Dakusli Danalafanish. And how thin is thin, we're not sure. But Agav, you see, he says you shouldn't cut up fruits very thin. So you see, look, even fruits, things that are edible, you still have Isser Toichen. So,
let me ask you that. Why would the rabbi say, you can make this, but I don't know what you can make? You can make this, but I don't know what you can make, what you can't make. He's not giving you a shit, right? He's saying
because he doesn't know.
You can't. So
we're not sure, we're not bucky.
So, people you know what, it's a different way, like you get them the way, warning. It's some problem is here.
Yeah, that's because but this is Taylor. Taylor says, Taylor tells you something, it has to tell you what. You can't just say, I don't know what.
Right, but the Messiah, I guess the Messiah was lost. We're not sure. The Messiah was lost. A lot of times it comes up in Shulchan Aruch, we're not sure exactly what's the shear, what's the amount.
You know, we have a problem, so we need to go.
Yep. Some people say cut the vegetables a little bigger than you usually do. Some of them say just cut it normal. Don't make it that it looks small. Just do the regular thing you do. But then so comes out we have no focus over here is the shaykh is taken by vegetables, by regular vegetables. So how do we pass him? So the Tumas Adeshin he wants to be machmir for both shittas. But he says that even the Shibbolei Aleket, the Yerim, the Shittas Hasei, it is shaykh is by foods, and stafke by foods which grow from the ground. Stafke foods which grow from the ground, foods which don't grow from the ground, even they would agree that there is no Isser. That's in the fifth Maramokin, Tumas Adeshin writes.
Grows from the ground, it's not an Isser?
That don't go from the ground. The Isser only applies to things that go from the ground. But foods which don't grow from the ground, like fish, chicken, and fish, chicken, and cheese, there is no Isser. If it's because he learns how you find by Ma'amer and other melachas that were done in the Mishkan that the Isser is only shaykh by things which grow from the ground. Things that don't go from the ground, that's not the way it was done in the Mishkan. And the Melas, the Isser is not shaykh of there. So that's in the fifth Ramakim, Tumas Adeshin writes. Vehicle. It's not. Midrais has potter, yeah. Midrabanon. So So the Tumas Adeshin says to be machmir. He's only going to be making in the case where all the Rishonim would agree. Meaning where, first of all, it's not gedulei karka, it doesn't grow from the ground, and also it's edible, it's a food. That's when he says to be making. This is in the fifth Maramakim, he writes, V'ikal meimar, the bebasar mevushal soli, the benidin lidan, like in our case, where that was a shaila, because someone could cut up the meat into very small pieces. So kuli al medu the shari. Everyone agrees that it's mutter. Why? V'lei dami le'itzim u'peiros v'lechem. To all those things, the inu kuli gedulan min haaretz. They all grow from the ground. The v'yesh b'minan tchina. Kegoin tvu v'kidnias. So there are other things that go from the ground, which is a tchina memela shaykh by them. Dika tchina shaykh b'hu. Afal basar dein gedulan min haaretz doesn't grow from the ground. The yishleimar the beichel kazel the kuli am le shaykh b'hu tchina. Food like this, the kuli am is not shaykh teichen. Just like we find the Melacha of Ma'amer, that there is a days in the Gemara that says it's only shaykh by things that grow from the ground. Things which grow from the ground, about gathering, sticking it together. It's not there should say if you're gathering salt from the ground. There should say there's no Isser Ma'amer. It's not gedulei karka. It doesn't grow from the ground. So,
picking up from the ground.
Yes, let's say they have like from the water. The water dries up and the salt. Ma'amer is gathering it together.
Where do they get salt?
Kabunches.
Where do they get salt?
From the ocean.
So some of them they get different caves or from the ocean.
Right. That's a different. I mean, that's a different kind of salt, I believe.
Right. So that's so the halacha we're only making when you have both things. That first of all, it doesn't grow from the ground, and it's edible the way it is. But if you're missing one of them, like if it's a vegetable but it's edible, apples, and any vegetables. So since it grows from the ground, you can't cut up too thin. You have to make a normal, regular size. You normally cut it, not too thin. And if it's fish, meat, or cheese, but it's not edible because it's hard and the pieces are too big. The only way it's possible to eat it is if you cut into small strips. And so then that would also be an issue. Well, yeah. If both things size, it doesn't grow from the ground, and also you get edible the way it is. Even though it's hard to eat, it's still okay. A big, not sure, what's it called, the cheese that you have to grate up?
Like Parmesan.
Parmesan. I never tried biting a block of those, but they look hard. I'm not sure.
I think that would be
You don't think?
borderline edible. Bite a chunk of parmesan.
Right. It was very hard.
Yeah.
This thing they said Magen Ram says not to have even hard cheese, which is hard to eat, but it's edible. You could eat it. It's still okay since it's edible. So I'm not sure. I never tried biting a chunk of Parmesan. So that's when we're making. So cooked chicken, all these things, there's no problem. However, the Shulchan Aruch says that even though there's no isser by these things, but still you can't use a grater to grind these things. You want to eat cheese, you can't use a regular grater because it's uvd in the chil. It's uvd in the chil. It's not that it's sedach melacha, therefore you can't do it. That's in the 6th Maran Makin. The Alter Rebbe says, these things which are not geduli karka and they're edible, it's mutar lechatcha. You're allowed to cut afil mishein yachal lois. Even someone who he himself has a hard time chewing, an older person or a young kid. An older person, most people could eat it, but this person can't. It's still fine. Being misakin, being mekardim, whether you're going to use a knife or an axe, a megera, ashen kelim shalachtem l'isser, even though they're muksa, because they're melachas l'isser, still it's mutar l'tatam serich gufam, commission is siman shinches. Even though something which is muksa, serich gufam, you're allowed to use it. Fine. Also, the geira dak made a charetz about PPs. You're not allowed to grind it up with a grater. Riba eisen, blushing Ashkenaz. Afil kadei lechel miyad, even in order to eat it right away. Samach lesuta. The kivin shakli miyuch lekach, since it's miyuch vidus hadis haderachel kamesh chikas tavlin b'madich, just like grinding a spices in a with a mortar and pestle with a machteshes. So then the kli which is used for grating and grinding things in a way that's also on Shabbos, you can't use it to grate even things that are mutar on Shabbos. So you'd have to use a knife for something which is not usually meant for this. The next shayla which comes up related to this is what happens if someone cut up vegetables too thin in a way that was also on Shabbos. Someone didn't know they were making.
Wegen der Reden, nicht schneiden
zu dünn, aber the shayla is was b'di'evet. Amos what das getan. They made an Israeli salad, kidabai, very very thin pieces. They minced up. They minced up the onions really small. So b'di'evet. So usually in Shinyan Ches we say by dinei bishul, someone even b'sheigig, someone was mevashal on Shabbos. It's aser. I'll kapanim for that Shabbos, whatever. There's chalukim after and then you get after Shabbos. So the shai is what about over here when it comes to Toichen? So Chaynov brings down Mishabrun, the Nishma Satan who say that it's aser, but Chaynov won't say that b'sheikig it was b'sheikig the person didn't know. He says he could be makel. You can rely on the shittas that say there is no Toichen by geduli karka, by things that grow from the ground, and by foods. But this is in the 7th Maran Makin. He writes, Kasav Achai Adam, Kal Yod Zayin, V'achitchim ha'betzolim ha'tznoin dak. If someone who cut up the onions or the radishes very thin, shoi shtayim kedim ha'suda, before the meal, kariv ha'davar leimar, he's carved to say shechayiv, could be chayiv min daraisa, v'ha'betzolim ha'surim ba'achila, and he can't eat them. V'huva dvarav b'mishnah beru, v'loi heir klum, he didn't say anything. Veneer kavanasi, but isi came b'mezin. Kavanasi is kavanas when you're doing it b'mezin. Hagam sheish peskim hamatirim kamuv b'beis. Even though there's shittas haseder, you're allowed to grind up foods on Shabbos. There's no Isra Toichen. Mikol makim kivash nislak b'shulchan aruch le'eser. Since shulchan aruch paskins, it's aser unless it's not geduli karka. Neket kein gam le'eser b'salim v'achid l'misha isa b'mezin neged shulchan aruch. Geduli paskin also b'mezin is going to be aser. Someone who does this against a psak of shulchan aruch. Aval im chatach dak b'sheigig. But if the person did it by mistake, he didn't know. Bate ein le'eser v'achidlam. Sure, you don't need to be Isha Bachila. He gives three different reasons. One of them are the shittas say it's okay to chop up food very small. Zel Sheni, he says, Pshita the kol shar yarki bar misilka shori lachtech dak. Says according to Tesis, it's clear that all vegetables you're allowed to cut up very thin except for silka. And according to some Rishonim, even silka is going to be okay because it's a food. He says it ends off lachin in less rabasalim lachila. Therefore, chaim no shayktas. The other place can also. I think it's Shvisa Shabbos also. Samach lachila is mutter, make her then. Meint, nicht samach yeah. Yeah, because it's not before the Suda, right? Yeah, if it's right before the Suda, there's no Shaila anyways. Yeah, correct. The whole... Me'ikar adin, the min I guess I say, Alter Rebbe sagt, nach nizar, zu machen größer Stichwort. That's... Yeah. Fine. So this is one reason that there is no Isra Toichen on Shabbos. If it's not Gedulei Karka, it doesn't go from the ground, then it's edible. The second way there is no Isra Toichen is if you're grinding up something which is already grinded up before. So you want to cut up the challah, you want to cut up very thin slices, you want to make cubes, you want to make breadcrumbs on Shabbos. So there's no the din is there's no Isra because ain't Toichen achar Toichen. Something which was already grinded up before, there's no Isra to grind it up again. Yeah, you could crunch them up.
Medicine is all ground up.
Oh, so the shayla also comes up pills. If someone you're not allowed to take medicine on Shabbos, but for some reason this person's not to take medicine on Shabbos, he has to take it for a few days, or he's a chilish nafal mishkav. So what if the person has a hard time swallowing a pill? Could he crush up the pill on Shabbos and put it into water? So we're going to see soon. There's some, so this l'chayda you could say ain't Toichen achar Toichen. Like the pills usually already grinded up, so there would be no isra to grind it up again. And this is in the eighth Maramokhin.
The whole zeta of not taking medicine is because shchikas on the money. And here it's saying the medicine.
Right. Yeah, so because it was already nitchen before.
So that's the wrong ingredients. This is already a process.
I get it. But the whole
you're saying it's ironic. Yeah.
Medicine is because of shchikas on the money.
Yeah. So
I know.
So the eighth Maramokhin, the Shulchan Aruch says, "Avamutal far lechem lifnei atarna geilim." You're allowed to crumble up the bread in front of the chickens. The hoyu kvar nitchen ein lachash. Since it was already grinded up before, it's fine. The in Toichen achar Toichen. Yes, it's from the Rishonim, Agais Maimonius, in the Ran and the Smag. So the shayla is there's stiras. There are certain cases where you see that there is Toichen achar Toichen. So we're gonna have to figure out where do you draw the line. Certain things there is a isser. It's brought down in the Ramban that if you file down a metal into powder, you're even on Isra Toichen, even though it was melted down before and it was okay. This is it. And there's also about Lagabe we'll see in this ninth Maramokhin, if someone gets mud splashes on someone's clothes and it dries up, could you crumble it off? So the Shulchan Aruch says that it's also Misham Toichen. The ninth Maramokhin, Titch al Bigdoi, You could from the inside. You could scratch it, push it off. You shouldn't scratch it off on the outside because it looks like you're cleaning it. But if you push it off on the inside, then it's okay. Fine, so that you shouldn't do. But then it said, "And the when is it okay to do this, to scratch it off on the inside if it's wet, if it's a wet mud? Dried up mud, if there's a dried up stuff on your shirt, then you crumble it off. So when you're crumbling it, you're doing a Melacha of Toichen. That's how halach in Shulchan Aruch. Like grinding up this, you see, by crumbling up mud and dirt, there's Isra Toichen.
Well, what's it's not Toichen Achar Toichen, it's Toichen, period.
No, so Kiva Eger asks, it is, because well, it's mud. You have dirt. The dirt, it was never nitcha. You have dirt. Dirt is all separate pieces. Then it got wet. It got wet. It became mud, and then it got into your shirt and it dried up.
It was never nitcha. That's what I don't get. What do you mean?
It was. What is dirt? Lechatchila dirt is a bunch of separate pieces.
So the Toichen Achar Toichen isn't quite the way it sounds. It means
okay, but it's not.
So every time
but it's all separate pieces. It's not one chunk.
This is less granules. This is muddier. This is not muddier.
Look, no, Kukev Kiva Eger. You're 10th Maramakin. Kiva Eger schreibt. L'chira. Kukev Kiva Eger schreibt. 10th Maramakin. L'chira ish lodun. Kivan de mitchila haya mefurer. Since lachatchila it was grinded up. V'al dei aveshus nidbak. V'nase mechuber yachad. And through the moisture it got stuck together. And so l'chira the intchin achar tchina. L'chira shouldn't be any tchina. K'dol kaiman. Simon Shulchan Aruch. He's asking a shayla. He's not matir, but he's asking a shayla on the Shulchan Aruch.
It's not so much Toichen Achar Toichen. It's more there's ain't Toichen if it originally was mefer. It was like
yeah.
Created together with the leichus, and it was never.
No, the water is a separate item.
But if you look at
It's created together.
But if you look at it,
not to get the sand.
No, the water came. The water, the rain. They rained on the floor and made some mud, and it splashed on you.
And
if you have a piece of bread that's broken up in pieces, it's actually still hard pieces.
Drop cholent on it.
It was made flour.
If you drop cholent,
what on
the suit,
what's the question there again? Originally, it's
Shabbos, no?
if it dries up, so maybe I'll be the same shayla. Maybe can say. They don't. It's the same shayla. So the shayla is what's the chiluk between the sudinim? On one hand, we say you have bread ain't Toichen Achar Toichen, whereas over here, when it comes to mud, we say there is Toichen Achar Toichen. So there's a few different answers given. Shvisa Shabbos brings down Lavis Maramakim brings down 3 different answers. What's the chiluk? And there are nafkaminas between them. 11th Maramakim, he says the first one, the Tal Eiris, is from the Magen. He's before the Magen Avram. He answers that in the Gemara he says v'chein hiksha b'sefer Tal Eiris the ma'ishna mi pas melach the intchin achar tchina salt which was originally grinded up and then it got stuck back together, got cooked and became a glob again. There's no problem to grind that up because ain't Toichen Achar Toichen. So how come when it comes to the mud there is this? Because of the esher the shani pasu melach shasuyin bidei adam. Since it's also bidei, since it was people that stuck it together, therefore something which were stuck together through a person like bread. That's when we say ain't Toichen Achar Toichen. Whereas something which was bidei shemayim, mashenkin offer shenasa tit ve'inei also bidei adam. That's not that Elisha did. It wasn't done through a person. Over there we say yesh Toichen Achar Toichen. So this depends how it was stuck back together. If it was done through a person, then it's fine. So according to this, bread is no problem, and a pill which was also made by people, they stuck back together. So there also won't be any Isra Toichen. You could grind up a pill on Shabbos. According to this answer, now he brings a second answer. The Maharil, he says a chiluk whether it's food or not food items. And Mariel says Shehevi Harama in Simin Tavkav Dalid. Siv Gimel in Hilchos Yom Tov. They ain't china ba'ichlin, shahi tchunin tchila. He says ain't china ba'ichlin that was grinded before. Smashma da'im delay amru kain el b'midi da'ichlin dafka. So this whole din of ain't china chet china is dafka by food items. Af b'inin acher loy, but ain't sarchian an kanasheni. So he gives another chiluk. It depends whether it's food items. So the mud, the case of mud, it's not a food. When it comes to metal, but I'm saying hand grinding metal, or cheres, grinding up cheres, it's not a food item. Food item, and mainly you have is for Toichen. But when it comes to bread, and according to the Stephen pill, grinding up on Shabbos, it's also it's an edible thing. And the mele ain't Toichen acher Toichen.
But interesting. The second one is
It could be going on both of them.
That's what I think.
So now the Shvus Shabbos himself he gives a third answer, which according to this answer there's going to be an issue grinding up pills or candies, right? Things hard. You want to say it's the difference between it became so hard that the first pu'ula, the first china became batal. When it comes, you grind up bread, even though you made a flour, even though you made a bread out of it, but it's still soft. You didn't lose what you accomplished through the grinding. It's still edible. It's still hard. It's still soft. But things, if you grind it up and then it became a solid, just like it was before, so then the whole ma'aseh of tchina was nispatel. And in Mela, you have this with tchina again. Yeah, by a pill. A pills, it becomes hard. It becomes a solid. No, but bread is not weich. It's not hard like the way it was before when it was kernels. In the third stickle, the third ketai writes, "Lefi ma sheisati lo bepsichel and melacha zu oizayin, delay amin and ein tchina chetchina ela bepas ukiyis bezeh, the ikar tchina hamachsheres achila haya kepam harishin." And so the first hachshar lachil was done the first time. The second time when you're grinding it up again, it's already grinding, you're not accomplishing anything. Through making the bread, making the dough, you weren't a battle the first pu'ula. It's still a soft thing, it's still edible. If so, so therefore that makes sense. Because of here, it became mud and dirt just like it was the first time. So the first time was grinded up, you never accomplished anything, you never gained anything. Anything which was grinded up and then got stuck back together and became a hard solid, just like it's the original state. So then you can't say ain't Toichen acher Toichen. No, what do you make it out of? You take the herbs, you take the plants, and now you turned it into a solid. And you made it hard. Okay. Bemis is Svensich. It depends which type of pill. Okay, it depends. Some pills it's just a capsule and it has a powder inside. Some is a capsule and there's a powder inside, so there's no problem. You break it up and you break it up. It's talking about something which was made of solid. It's a hard pill, and you have to, you would have to chew it and bite it up and chew it up. So it became a solid anymore. The first tchina was nispatel.
Zieht, ist nicht gemacht zu essen. Nicht gehört dem ersten Mal, dem zweiten Mal, dem dritten Mal. Der erste, ich gehört der erste, der zweite, dritte. Schenke, Babrei, du baut der erste Pool hat schon aufgetan. Selber sagt, das Kind ist am Mann. Der erste Pool hat schon aufgetan, forever. Als die Pool wird allemaal bleiben. Was ist dann später, hat allemaal der erste Pool geholfen.
Okay, good. We agree.
Obviously it's different. The pill doesn't look the same way it looked before. It's cooked on there. Yes, it's a different. You made a different thing of it. But what was a mail? It's like it helps us. I'm saying it helped that it looks different, but it didn't help to keep it soft. It didn't help forever that it should be separate pieces. The gather from Toichen.
Also ich sagte doch, Tchina Machsheres ist dort echt Machsher gewesen. Machsher die getroffen wird hier, die gar nicht Machsher. Erst mal, die zweite Mal, die dritte Mal. Das ist ein Pool von Gott.
Ich höre es sagst.
Das Machsher dort, die Pool hat er zugetan. Die Pool ist ein Pool in Schech. Es wird allemaal bleiben, die erste Pool wird allemaal bleiben.
Ich höre, but the answer is, what's the pool of Toichen? Pool of Toichen is you're breaking up one piece into many small pieces. That pu'ula doesn't stay forever. That pu'ula wasn't spatol. The fact that you took one solid and broke it. Nee, was is dat? Es ist weich.
De eerste pulle is allemaal geblieben. Dezelfde dag dat de eerste pulle